most amazing Top 10ers, how are you beauties doing today? Well, I hope you're all feeling like good, nice, happy neighbours, because who has time to be a total jerk? The people on this list. That's who. The top 10 worst neighbours. Jumping into number 10, we have a child hater. A neighbour delivered this message to a parent and their young child. The author of the note expressed their hatred of, when it's good weather, the parent allowing their child outside. They said, "You proceed to let your small child run free in your backyard to laugh and to giggle. This is very disruptive for my dogs and my bird who like to look into your yard." What? They say if the kid is allowed out for more than 15 minutes a day, they'll call the police. I'm really sorry that you're not having any fun, neighbour, but that doesn't mean that we should apologise for having some. Coming into number 9, we have two neighbours who seem as bad as one another. Here we have the leaf blowers of Reddit. There is a pretty funny bad neighbour thread on Reddit, and on it a cop shared their experience of dealing with a neighbourhood dispute. They wrote, "Cop here, I went to a disturbance call where two neighbours were blowing leaves at each other with leaf blowers. They were actually mad while doing this." They later elaborated by saying, "I rolled up to the scene, gave them both the WTF look, put my hands up in confusion, turned around, got back in my patrol car and drove away." I feel like that's the best action because leaf blowers are for fun, not for hatred. Coming in at number 8, have you ever considered how Spiderman must be like the worst neighbour ever? All of that banging and superheroing around is great for society, but awful if you live underneath him. Presumably, Spider-Man himself shared this picture he received from his less than amused neighbours. "Dear neighbour, unfortunately we have not had the pleasure of meeting each other. However, we can hear everything you do, so basically it's like we already know you. And what we've concluded is, someone just bought a pogo stick. 2012 Double Dutch champions, congrats, you just got cast in Stomp. You're housing a mini pony. Jealous." It goes on. They go on to say, "Seriously though, not trying to be a pest or super annoying, but oh my gosh, what are you doing up there? And if you do by chance have a mini pony, I would like to meet it. P.S. If you're secretly Spider-Man and you're practicing your Spidey skills, please disregard this note and keep up the good work." Something tells me they were just living underneath a thumper. Flamingos at number 7. I feel like there should always be flamingos at number 7 because flamingos! This picture says it all really. With around 50 flamingo statues on the lawn, this house owner has erected a sign that reads, "Whoever called the police on my lawn instead of talking to me like a good neighbour, your move." I'm really into the flamingos, so good move. It really wouldn't bother me at all, like flamingos. Flamingos are cool. From flamingos to chickens, but not plastic ones, real ones. I have a feeling this could be somewhat stressful. At number 6, we have the chickens next door. Peter Stoodley from Yeovil in the UK was featured on a TV show called The Nightmare Neighbour Next Door. The West Country man was given an ASBO for making his neighbours' lives a living hell by keeping over 100 chickens in his back garden. The chickens are both smelly and very noisy. Neighbours say that rotten chicken eggs and dead chicken carcasses attracted rats to his garden and subsequently their own homes. Peter was forced to give up his chickens, so now he's planning to fill his garden with pigs. From chickens to chicken noises, and also monkey noises. Lots of noises. Ian Wheatcroft of Hampshire, England tormented his neighbours for 2 years in what they called a campaign of harassment. He left dog poop in their garden and used an angle grinder really near his neighbour's car, threatening to cause serious damage. On top of that, he played loud recordings of animal noises, including chicken and monkey sounds, late at night in order to bully his neighbours. Weird. Eventually he was taken to court and sentenced to 4 months in jail, as well as being handed a restraining order. Coming in at number 4, we have Bad Santa. One guy who did not take criticism well went hell for leather with a macabre festive display in Ross Township, Pennsylvania. This sick yard scene was out of revenge to his neighbours who had made a complaint about the extent of his conventional Christmas lights the year before. He was made to tone them down. He was really pissed about it. It seems hell hath no fury like a Christmas lover scorned. Bill Ansell set up a display featuring a urinating Santa, a headless choir, headless snowmen, another snowman being run over by a truck, and a Mickey Mouse hanging by the neck. He also erected signs slandering his neighbours for being thieves, which he was made to remove. Blimey. Coming in at number 3, there are a lot of things that neighbours can do that can be considered, bad, but I guess putting my dog in the bin is probably number 1 of some of the worst things you could do. In In April 2017, a neighbour from hell was caught on CCTV dumping her neighbour's dog in the bin. The woman in Texas, USA was caught up in a feud with her neighbours over a fence. The woman was in her 80s when she threw her neighbour's 7-pound dog in the bin for over 2 hours. This was until she realised that she was on CCTV, she then removed it. This is awful. Okay, some really bad neighbours to end this list. At number 2, we have the infamous New Jersey Watcher. When your neighbour is someone that stalks you and writes you threatening notes, I think we can all agree that they're pretty awful. News of the New Jersey Watcher went big in 2014 when a family moved into a home in Westfield, New Jersey, and they got a letter from someone signed the Watcher. The Watcher said, "My grandfather watched the house in the 1920s, my father watched it in the 1960s. It's my time now." The Watcher claimed to be able to see entirely into the house and also claimed to know the names of the family children. So creepy. Nobody knows who the Watcher is, just that they're from somebody around the neighbourhood, which no. Absolute no. Finally, one of the worst neighbours of them all, one that has drawn a line between their property and their neighbours, one that constantly threatens others in their hood and even further afield, a neighbour who has been practicing a war. We have North Korea. I, for one, would not want to live next to North Korea. They are the worst neighbours of all time. They're constantly testing missiles to hurtle at their neighbours, and they don't like it when anyone who lives in their house wants to leave. Oh no, that is not accepted. No one must leave, and no one has hot running water, except the leader of the house. Meanwhile, they hate their free, happy neighbours who have hot water and who can leave and come back as they please. Weird. Guys, why can't we all just get along and see the big picture? Have you guys ever had a bad neighbour? Let me know in the comments section below. I once actually had a neighbour in my university halls that had a crazy girlfriend that smashed my plates and tried to break into my room. That wasn't ideal. We called security. The best thing you can do. There we go. Let me know. For now, I'm Rebecca Felgate. This has been Most Amazing Top 10. Make sure you give this video a good thumbs up, share it with a friend, and stay subscribed for more entertaining lists just like this coming at you every day. I'll see you next time. Be a good neighbour.